Hello everybody, this is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo, and today we're going to make a bracelet like this. So we're going to use some wooden beads, and I'm also going to use some of these polymer bead Heishi beads. I got these a long time ago. In fact, I have a video of an unboxing, but I think I want to use yellow. I see this one I used blue and pink, so I think I'm going to go yellow, and let's see which yellow. I want to do this color. Well, wait a minute, this, I don't know, there's so many pretty colors. Maybe I'll do this blue over here. They look good together. I could do those. Maybe I'll just do these. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, huh? Since these are right next to each other, I can kind of see what they look like. And I'm just going to grab a bunch of them. I may not have enough, or I may have too many. I can just put them back or get more. But so I got my beads. I'm going to use some cording here. I believe this is probably 2 millimeters. It is not wax cording, it's just regular cording. Usually when I make my wax cording bracelets, I burn the ends, but we're going to tie knots. We're going to do it a little bit different. And a lot of times your wooden beads, the holes aren't all the way through, so you might want to get a bead reamer or something to make sure that the holes are all clean and poked through. See, look at the difference. See how far that one went down, and see how far that one goes down. All right, so we're going to clean, and this one, there we go. I was going to say, can't even get it on the reamer. So a lot of times these guys need to be cleaned out. The Heishi beads are fine. But whenever you're doing a project like this, you want to make sure that the holes are going to be big enough to go over your cording. I have a crochet hook that I may or may not use, and I'll explain about that when we need it. And I want to, what did I do with my safety pin? I need a safety pin. Well, hang on. Found my safety pin. And you need something to measure with. We're going to use about a foot. Don't think we quite need that much, but with all the knot tying and stuff, of course you need scissors to cut. And we're going to need some more of that cording here in a little bit, so I'll just put it aside. And I'm going to go ahead and tie one knot at one of the ends, because we're going to need a knot there anyway, and I don't want all my beads falling off. And I'm going to do it at the very end, but I do want to keep a little bit, because we're going to do something with that. All right, so we're going to start with a wooden bead. And you can do whatever pattern you want, but I did 5, 3, 5, wooden, 5, well, I'll start with the wooden, 5, 3, 5, wooden, 5, 3, 5, and so forth. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to start with the blue. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 3 of the yellow, and I'm definitely going to need to have more of these Heishi beads. Anyway, let me go ahead and string these on, and I'll be back to show you what the next step is. Something I want to address here is sometimes these beads can be very, very thin, and sometimes they can be a little thicker. See the difference in that? So when you're stringing your beads on, you got to kind of keep an eye on that, because you don't want to have a bunch of thin ones over here and thicker ones over here, unless you want this look, of course. but otherwise that they would be kind of off kiltered. So if you want everything even, keep that in mind. All right, so I have them all strung on like I want. I'm going to go ahead and tie a knot on the other end here. Okay, now I'm going to even these up and center my beads. And then I'm going to tie a knot here. Now I measured 12 inches of this cording. If you have a larger wrist, and take into consideration, you got to go over your hand, but if you have a larger wrist, you might need to have a little bit bigger string. And one thing I'm looking here, I got distracted. I want to make sure that my beads are not going to fall off, okay? Which they're not. If they were, I could double up on those knots. I know with this bracelet, I had to triple up on the knots because the wooden beads that I had were the holes were much larger than these. Okay, now this is where your pin could come in handy. You may or may not need it, but you just use it to slide your hole down close to the bead. You want it right up against that bead. Okay. And there'll be a little wiggle room. You do want a little bit of wiggle room because if it's too tight, the beads will tend to bunch up and look funny. All right, so you could be done right here if you wanted to. You could just tie it on. But we're going to do a sliding knot. And before we do that though, I want to show you what we're going to do here. I'm just going to unravel these. With my wax cording, I usually will burn the ends, but I'm not for sure if these ends will burn. So we're just going to have a little tassel at the end. I like little tassels like this. I do this a lot when I am crocheting necklaces or bracelets or whatever. I like to put this frayed ends on there. All right, I'll probably frame out a little bit more later, but it's basically what you have. So you need your cording again. I'm going to measure about 5 inches. We don't need that much, except for the fact that we're going to be tying some more knots. Okay, so you're just going to tie a square knot. So you tie on your cording. Make sure that these don't get twisted. See how that's twisted? You do not want them twisted. And I have other bracelet videos where I've shown how to do these knots. Okay. So once you get it on there like that, you kind of make a little loop. You put this side down. And you go in the back around, up through that loop, and then you tighten it. Okay, and then you're going to do it again, but this time you're going to put the loop on this side, put this down and around, and through the back of the hoop. And again, tighten. And I like to do this at least 3 times, sometimes 4. I'll do one more here. But with this particular bracelet, I need to have enough where I'll be able to tie a knot. Let's see if I can. Yeah, tied a knot at the end there. And again, you might need your pen. So you just do an overhand knot. Go ahead and open this guy up. And then you try to get that knot as close to the end of the square knot. Because usually you will burn these. But like I said, I don't think it's going to burn. I mean, it'll burn, but it's not going to stick. So I want to get that very close. And then I'm going to just trim that off. And then I'm going to fray this. Whoop. Let me get this, just make sure it's tight. And then unravel these and fray them out. I'll finish this up and get the other side tied, and then I will be back to show you the finished bracelet. All right, I've got it all done. Now there's two ways to do these knots. You can do them where, so this bracelet I showed you, I did it like this, but you can have it where you can, let's see if I can, where you can have your, I'll show you. You can turn it so it's sideways. And I'll try to find a video where I show how to do that and link it up here so you can see what I'm talking about. But these are two different ways to tie the knots. And it just slides. And there you go. There they all are. Let me put this one on, that way you can see the difference in the way they are. See, there's this way and then there's this way. Some people like this way, some people like this way. But like I said, I'll try to find a video where I show how to do this knot in a different bracelet up here. But look how that turned out. I really like this. It looks tribal to me. I love anything that's, you know, native or tribal inspired or beachy, anything that's more on the nature side. By the way, I did forget to show you about the hook. So when you're tying the overhand knot, if you can't seem to get it through the hoop, you can catch it with this and just pull it through. I actually sometimes will use a skinny plier, like a needle nose plier like this, so you can go through the hoop and grab the end and pull it through. Anyway, I want to thank y'all for joining me, and I hope you have a great day. This is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo signing out for now. Bye-bye.